Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to do the video that won the Patreon poll winner of the week, and it's none other than Carcass. Can I go first on a few things here before I press play on this?
Yeah, is it going to be about the accent?
No. Well, we can tackle that too, but I wanted to start off by saying that Beavis and Butthead, they had a joke about Carcass, and they covered the first part of the word, and they're like, you can't spell Carcass without ass, and they I miss Beavis and Butthead. I heard about doing a reboot, that they were coming back again.
Yeah, but I don't think you could do that without, like...
Pissing off a lot of people? They were definitely not woke.
Yeah, they're definitely not woke, but you'd have to use the same art style.
Oh, totally. And the voices.
Yeah.
You can't have, like, different voices, so it may be a little bit hard to pull off a reboot. Now,
about the accent?
The accent. Okay, so I said Carcass.
Because French people...
It sounds French to me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds French.
But French people, whenever they speak, I always have...
You're generalizing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always have the idea that whenever they speak, it's always like they're asking a question.
Yeah. Ah oui, hein?
Yeah.
Parce que... Je ne sais pas.
That's with a lot of languages too.
I think every language has its own stereotype as far as it sounds to people who don't speak that language, right? It's kind of hard for me to judge Portuguese people because obviously that's my native language. So it's hard for me to say how Portuguese people sound like.
They just sound like, I don't know, angry Brazilians.
For as much as perhaps that hurts me, I agree with you because the Brazilian language seems a lot more jovial, a lot happier.
Well, it's basically
like almost like you're singing.
It's basically the same language, but it's because...
It is the same language as Portuguese, but we speak it with a lot more anger.
That's what I'm saying, because
we're pissed off.
Brazilians are always very happy, and they're very, like...
They have better weather than we do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like...
And that's probably why they're the happy ones.
And let's not even go in as far as, like, hot chicks with big booties. You know what I mean? They have, like, a contest for, like, booty contest in Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah.
We gotta go to Brazil.
I mean, there's many reasons to go to Brazil, but that probably is number one on the list.
Yeah.
To go see the booty contest.
And the Germans are the angry ones.
Yeah, and the Russians sound like mobsters.
Yeah.
Like you know, like...
I am the machine.
Hey, I'm gonna kill you. You know, like not mobsters like Italian mobsters. They sound like just like
Italian...
Eastern European mobsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Every language has that.
Every language has its own stereotype. Anyways, we're here to check out the latest song and video from Carcass, "The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue." I don't know if there is a Manchester morgue. I'm assuming there is one in Manchester.
Yeah, I feel like there's a morgue everywhere.
Exactly. What a great place to do a Carcass concert. I really feel like that would be like perfect. Probably a little bit too small. It would be cozy, but perhaps perfect for
a good music video.
A live stream. I was thinking out of a morgue. Behemoth is doing a live stream out of a church.
Oh.
Yeah. So Carcass in a morgue. Come on, man! Like
they're
create
really,
an atmosphere.
They're really stepping up their games for these live streams. They're like, okay, I know the people can't come here, but let's just give them a show anyways.
Exactly, I think so too. So, and by the way, before I forget, Carcass is also releasing an EP in October. They're coming out with a brand new EP. Really excited about that. And one more thing, because Carcass is releasing a brand new EP. On the top 5 editions that I do with Petri from Insiferum and Justin from Sorcerer, the next one is going to be on our favorite Carcass albums.
Oh.
Since they're coming out with an EP, we figure we throw that in there and we talk about our favorite Carcass albums. So that should be fun. All right, on that note, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's check this out. I'm gonna let you go first on this one. What are your thoughts on The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue by
I love that line.
Carcass?
I love that line. Let the sleeping corpses lie. I love that line, and also, that's a way to end the song. That is
Brutality and
with
speed.
that brutality
And speed too. It's
yeah.
not just like brutal and heavy. It's
the
just,
whole song was just brutal and heavy.
Yeah,
and fast.
This song to me when I was listening to this is like prototypical Carcass track with a lot of moves, a lot of bends as far as the sound is concerned, alternating the more slower, almost drag out portions of the track, but then like blistering speed, and then those vocals.
It keeps you on your toes.
Oh, that yeah. If there's one thing that I mean, one thing I always felt with Carcass and the way they put songs together is that the songs they construct a song the way you would construct an album. Like when you're building an album, like as far as I'm concerned, when I'm doing an album review, I look for certain fluidity. How does the song alternate from track to track? You don't want too many songs that sound similar, bunched up together. You want the album to have this up and down, nice little fluidity. There's certain things that you look for when you're looking at the track listing and the overall construction of an album. I always felt that Carcass did that on a track basis. So they look at a song and they construct the song the way a band constructs the full album. So it has an intro, do you know what I mean? Then it goes through like a heavier portion. Then there's a more melodic piece here. Then it gets heavy again. Then it goes somewhere else. Then so the song
very fast portions.
Yeah. So the song itself has
built like an album.
It's built like I always feel. At least that's my perspective. When I look at Carcass, I always look at Carcass from
I do see
perspective.
the song like that because of starting with that riff at the start. I really liked that riff at the start. And I thought I was going to continue throughout the song, but that was the intro, and then it had that up and down feel like an album would have.
Yeah, it has like different portions. I mean, it repeats itself. It's not like the song is constantly changing.
But just like in an album.
But like in an album, sometimes you
you
start
have
off
some
heavy.
songs that are similar, some songs that are
Exactly, and they're
different.
just spaced apart so that you don't have this feeling of being repetitive.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I always looked at Carcass from that perspective. A band that creates songs the way you construct an album. And that's
a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way you have to look at this band. By the way, what did you think of the riff when the solo was being played? I love that riff.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so groovy.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, a lot of what I heard in the song was very groovy, and I was really getting into it. But I have to say again, that intro riff, I really wish I had a little bit more of that because I really like that.
One thing we haven't talked about or touched upon is the vocals. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Carcass's vocal approach to the songs because it almost feels. How can I put this? It always feels like it's
slow and fast.
But but the tone, the way it sounds, it feels like it's almost coming from like deep within the song,
and it's moving,
and it's moving up towards the front, almost like as you opening a door, and like your face is just creaking through. You know, like that scene from I can't remember what the name is. Where the guys, I can't remember the name, with Jack Nicholson, where he looks over. The Shining.
The Shining.
Here's
Johnny.
Here's John. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. The vocals come from our neighbor's dog is putting on a show. It always feels to me like the vocals are like that scene from The Shining, where you open up the door just a little bit and you're creaking your face through, and the vocals kind of feel like they're coming from that deep into the track and then moving itself towards the outside. I always felt that way about it, and I like it. It gives the tracks even more of an ominous vibe.
They're such like dark vocals, yet they keep pace with such a fast song.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting because sometimes a song feels like the vocals are too slow for it because the song is moving at such a high speed, but the vocals they still match with each other perfectly. There's not that disconnect between the speed of the track and how much molasses exists on the vocals. But I love them because that feeling of coming from so deep from within the song. Every time I hear it, it always feels like it's like a zombie creeping out of the grave. You know what I mean? Like one hand at a time before you creep all the way out. I always felt that way about Carcass, and to me, that's one of their trademark approaches. Is how those vocals always feel like they're coming deeper from within the mix of the track onto the forefront. Every time he starts singing, it always feels like he's starting really deep, and by the time he finishes, he feels like he's in the forefront.
Yeah.
And then when he stops singing, you kind of forget about it. Then the next time he comes on again, you feel the same way, starting all the way in the back and moving all the way in the front. I always felt that way. All right. Excited about the new EP, and I'm really excited about sitting down with Petri and Justin to talk about favorite Carcass albums of all time. This is a series that we're doing now.
Yeah.
The three of us. We've done 2 videos so far. This is going to be the third.
It's good to spice up some content.
Yeah.
on the
We're
channel.
trying different things. You know, hanging out with those two guys is always a blast. And we're going to do a special one for Halloween. I think we're going to do our favorite Halloween-inspired metal songs for
I
Halloween.
thought you were gonna do King Diamond.
No, we already did
Oh,
King
yeah, you
Diamond. That
already
was our
did
first
King
one.
Diamond, yeah.
So, and I think then we're going to put it up to the audience for the folks
next
at
one.
home to choose which going to be our the next one after that. I'm also thinking of doing some other videos with some other guys from other bands to talk about, like, you know, talk to a drummer about his favorite drummers, you know, that kind of stuff. I think it's cool, and it's interesting for me to pick their brains. And now, because of COVID, nobody's touring, so everybody's available to do whatever the hell I come up with.
Yeah.
And there you go. So Carcass will be the next one on our top list. Petri and myself and Justin from Sorcerer will be doing that. And check that out. It's those videos are a lot of fun. The three of us, we have a blast talking about our favorite albums and shooting the shit. Fun times. All right, guys, this is it for today. Come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.